Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced today the U.S. House will open an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. For months now, two committees, the House Oversight Committee, chaired by Kentucky Congressman James Comer, and the Judiciary Committee have been looking into the Biden family's business dealings, alleging the president benefited from those activities. Now, none of the evidence so far has shown that to be true. Joining us now is journalist Michael Schnell, who is covering this development for the website The Hill. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time today. Why now? If there's been no evidence of President Biden benefiting from these dealings, why is McCarthy pushing this forward now?
Well, look, Speaker Kevin McCarthy has been getting an immense amount of pressure from conservatives in his conference to take this step and launch an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Some examples of recent pressure is we saw Congressman Matt Gaetz threaten to potentially bring a motion to vacate the chair, which is essentially a vote on ousting the speaker, if McCarthy got in the way of efforts on impeachment. And we saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has become a close ally of McCarthy, say that she wouldn't vote to fund the government unless there was an impeachment inquiry launched into President Biden. Now, look, wasn't a shock. McCarthy's announcement today did not exactly come as a surprise. For weeks, he's been flirting with this idea of launching an impeachment inquiry. Back last month, he said that the House could do so as soon as when it reconvenes this month, which is today. Today's the House's first day back in session since August recess. And then in a subsequent interview, he called it the natural next step. So again, McCarthy's been inching closer to this announcement, but today he went fully in, and he said that he was directing to committees to open an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. So all those weeks of anticipation sort of came to today with this formal announcement.
Yeah, but as he made those announcements earlier, or those statements earlier, he did kind of couch it by saying that he would let the House vote on whether to go forward with an inquiry. Today, he just made the announcement.
Yeah, so this has been a big question that's been floating around the Capitol. We're still trying to get some information. Will there be an official vote in conjunction with this inquiry? And at this point, at this juncture, it does not appear so. I heard from a spokesperson for McCarthy who point blank said he opened the inquiry. So it's open, according to McCarthy's office. And this is significant because earlier this month, McCarthy had told conservative outlet Breitbart News that if the House were to move forward with an impeachment inquiry, then they would hold a formal vote. In order to do so, he said that the House would not move forward with an inquiry without a vote. It appears, though, that McCarthy is going a different way and that he did open the inquiry today without a vote. We asked him about this earlier, and he essentially said that he's going by the playbook that Speaker Nancy Pelosi set back in 2019. If you'll recall back then, Pelosi announced an impeachment inquiry on September 24th, and the House didn't actually vote on opening an inquiry until October 31st. So the question of will there be a vote down the road, that remains to be seen. It's a possibility that's still on the table. But in the near future, it looks like McCarthy is reneging on that statement he made just a few days ago that the House would not move forward with an impeachment inquiry unless there was a formal vote in the House.
You know, he said by opening this inquiry, they'll be able to access more information, access full power to gather facts. What additional power than what they have now does this inquiry bring?
Yeah, McCarthy has essentially said that this will give them the apex of power, that this will increase their investigatory tools as they continue to look into the Biden family business dealings and other aspects of their investigation revolving around President Biden and his family, including his son, Hunter Biden. The expectation is that it will help with subpoena power. Republicans have said that it'll sort of give them more leverage to try to obtain these documents, perhaps credit card statements, bank statements, what have you, that have to do with Hunter Biden and the Biden family at large.
Okay, now, what's the timeline then ahead?
That is still a question that we're trying to figure out. The House just comes back to session today. First votes are at 6:30 tonight, so still a lot to learn. Where we are right now in this current juncture is that McCarthy has directed the House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer to take the lead on this impeachment inquiry. He'll be joined by Jim Jordan, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, and by Jason Smith, the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. The three of them have been pursuing this investigation into the Biden family business dealings for months, so now they're going to take it into this next stage, which is the inquiry. In terms of a timeline, what comes next still remains to be seen because, again, we're just a few hours out from that announcement from McCarthy.
Okay, well, we will be watching and we will be reading. Of course, we have linked to your story on The Hill. That's on our website, tristatehomepage.com. Michael Schnell, thank you so much for joining us today with some comments. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.